Today, we're going to be going over your maintenance on the DL-NCD. Here at your control console, we're going to start machine, turn it on, and home it. We're going to wait for the machine to enable. We're going to go ahead and click home machine. Afterwards, we're going to go ahead and position the machine in an appropriate spot to where we can reach all the bearings. We're going to go over to our manual control, go under Y-axis and move it forward to center it on the frame. About there. We're going to go ahead and go back to main control and open up the width adjust to give us room when we're inside the frame, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and e-stop the machine and lock out and tag out. Here we are at the FRL for your DL-NCD. We're going to go ahead and turn off the air at your disconnect, like so. We're going to go ahead and lock out, tag out as necessary. And starting right to left on your incoming air, we're just going to go ahead and inspect everything. Make sure your disconnect and your water trap and your filters are all good. Here we have our water trap. We're just going to go ahead and inspect it. Make sure it's all clean. There's no debris. Filters aren't clogged. Put it back in like so. Next, you have your regulated pressure for your machine right here. It should indicate that it's at 90 psi for the rest of the machine. Going on down, we have next regulated pressure, 30 to 40 psi for your door blow off. Everything looks good and clean, so we're going to call it there. We're starting on the outside of the frame. Here on the X-axis, carriage bearings, 25 millimeter bearings located here. You're going to have 3 of them on the left side here for your X-axis on the carriage, and you're going to have 1 here in the middle, located on the sides here, that you're going to grease, and then another one on the end here that you're going to grease. All right, here on the right side of the carriage, we have 3 more for the X-axis carriage, located here, here, and here. One thing to take note is that this machine does not have the edge prep option. When your machine does, you're going to have 3 on the right side and 2 on the left side. Here on the X-axis for the carriage, we have a rack and pinion here. We want to check out that our lubricator is nice and full and that there's no wear and tear on the hoses or on the felt pinion here. You got to make sure there's no debris clogging it, make sure that it's free and greasing the way it's supposed to. You got to want to make sure that the line has no kinks in it. You're going to want to make sure that your lubricator actually has lubrication in it and that the low level sensor on the side here isn't on. It should tell you on the screen that the low level comes on and you should be able to replace it. Moving on to the inside of the machine, we're moving on to the Y-axis. We have 2 25 millimeter bearings, 1 located here, 1 located here, and the same is true on the other side of the head. On the other side of the head, we have the other 2 located here and here. Up next, we have our dust hood. Those are 15 millimeter bearings. There's 2 located here and here, and the same is true on the other side of the head. On the other side of the head here, we have the other 2 15 millimeter bearings here and here. Moving on deeper into the head, we have 4 for the Z-axis, 1 located here. We have another one located right here for the Z-axis. Here on the left side for the Z-axis, you have 1 more up here. Here on the left side of the head, we have 2 25 millimeter bearings with grease fittings right there. 1 located here and here. On the upper side, we have one here and here. In Kval Cam, you can go ahead and control all the servos. On the Z-axis, you're going to want to move it up or down so that you can access these grease fittings. Here for the Y-axis on the carriage, we have our race block located right here. And then to the left of us, we have the carrier bearing located there. This is going to be for the older legacy versions, seeing as how we have a new model version that's rack and pinion. Here on the back of the head for the Y-axis ball screw, you'll have your Zerk fitting right here for your ball nut. All right, here underneath the carriage for your head on the Z-axis, we have this brush cover here. We're going to go ahead and take out these 2 bolts to give ourselves more access to the ball screw. This right here are 2 ⅛-20 hex heads, and you're going to want a 7/16 socket. If they were 2 socket heads, you would want a 3/16 hex socket or a T-handle. I'm going to take these out. And just like that, we have more room to access the grease fittings on the ball nut for your Z-axis. Here underneath, you have that Zerk fitting on the ball nut. It's either going to be facing on the right or the left of that shaft. All right, here at the back of the head, to finish off the Z-axis, we have the race block. It's sticking out on this Zerk fitting behind the head. All right, up next on the inside of the machine, we have our width adjust. We have 3 linear bearing shafts right here. One located here at the front, one here at the middle, and one here at the back. The same is true on the other side. We have our pulley shafts right here. You're going to want to grease here, here, and here. Those are for your feed belts on your pulleys. Here on the other side of the width adjust, we have the other 3 located here, here, and here. We have the other 3 pulleys located here, 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 and then one more here at the front. Last thing on your DL-NCD is your length probe. We're going to have 2 25mm bearings, one located here on the right, one located back here on the left. We have 2 15mm, one located here and here for your vertical. Since the air is off, we can move the length probe to wherever we need it to locate all the bearings. Here on the left side of the probe, we have our 25mm bearing located right here. Here, when you're greasing bearings, if you need access, you can move everything around since air is off. We have 2 15mm bearings, one facing up and then one facing down. What we can do is we can lift this guy up and we can access the bottom port here to grease it. Today we're going to be going over the differences on the DL-NCD with the new model version. We have a rack and pinion here on the Y-axis as opposed to the ball screw nut that used to be on the Y. Here on the Y-axis, we now have a planetary gear head here, and that's the same as the X-axis. We've gone to the newer style Wittenheim planetary gear heads. We still have the same system where it has a felt pinion underneath and a self-lubricator right here. These guys you do not have to fill. They already have a low-level sensor and they go automatically whenever the axis moves. The Z-axis and the Y-axis for the edge prep still get greased here on the back of the head, the same way they have been for the ball screws. Here on the head we have the new EtherCat valve banks. It's here on top of the head now as opposed to down on the carriage, down low. Here on the side of the carriage, we're here at the X-axis servos. Here we have the same planetary gear head as the Y-axis. All 3 are the same. When you have the edge prep option, you're going to have one on each side for the X-axis, one on the fixed side, one on the movable side. All of these are made by Wittenheim. They still use the same lubricating system as before. Now that we're done greasing the DL-NCD, make sure to refer to your owner's manual so that you can make sure that you didn't miss any of the grease fittings on any of the bearings there.